You having three sons, can you walk us through having to break that news to your kids?
Yeah, gets me every time.
How old are
It
your
was
boys? What are their ages right now?
so let's see, they're 19, 17, and 14. So I do recall that was probably so I knew early on once I had initial issues back in May that I had something that was bad. And I kind of held it away from them because I didn't want them to worry. And I elected talking with their mom. I elected that I was not gonna tell them until I had an official diagnosis. And Jen, as you remember, Jen, their mom, Jen was on board with that, and she was supportive of my decision. And of course, I kept her in the loop as the mother of my children. Um, she supported the decision to hold notifying our kids until I was officially diagnosed. So the entire time until I was diagnosed, I knew something was wrong. I suspected it was cancer, but I didn't want to disclose it to them until I was officially diagnosed. So I was diagnosed, and that was probably one of the hardest conversations I've ever had. And as you know, as leaders of organizations, we're kind of prepared to hold those kinds of conversations with people, and how to deliver, negative news, bad news, or struggles a organization goes through. Um, but this was really hard because it really hit home, and it was a personal thing. Not that there's no personal bad news that we would that deals with the organization, but this one was just a lot different. And Mike, that was probably one of the toughest conversations I've ever had. And it still gets me every time. Uh, but but it was hard, and I, I told them exactly what my diagnosis was, and and just the look on their face was just hard. It was hard, and it caught. I don't want to say it caught them by surprise, because they too knew that something was going on, because dad had to go to medical appointments here and there. So they kind of suspected something was there, but they didn't realize that it was a terminal condition. Actually, to this day, I still suspect that they don't really have a full grasp of the severity of my condition. But I told them the news, and I told them the the prognosis, and I told them what was gonna happen between then and now, or then and the end, and how it's gonna impact them and my ability to take care of them. Because I needed to focus how it was going to impact them on a day-to-day basis. I told them I may not be able to pick you up, I may not be able to attend whatever band sporting event because I can't be out with the public. So I kind of relayed it to them and how it impacted them. Um, but Jen and I decided to keep it simple as much as possible, and let them ask the questions whenever they are comfortable to ask the questions. The only thing I ask them is two things. One is, don't go searching on the internet what my condition is, because not everything on the internet is true. And then the second thing is, I told them, and I reassured them, that my condition is not contagious or hereditary. It's a function of the environment that I was exposed to, and that it's not something that they need to worry about at this point in their lives. So those are two of the main points that I kind of highlighted to them, so that they know it was isolated to me, so that they didn't feel any weirdness about my condition. But today, every time they come home, like, how are you? How is your how do you feel today? How was your appointment? They're kind of intrigued in that manner in regards to what my appointments entailed, what procedures happened. But other than that, they try to keep it like a day-to-day function, normal day-to-day, like school and let's go play pool or something. But I still suspect that they don't understand the full gravity of the severity of my condition. And I think it will hit them once I start physically showing the gravity of my condition. Because right now I try to keep it lighthearted. I try to continue to joke with them. They see me going to the gym, so they kind of, my condition doesn't really show an impact to their day-to-day. But I think once that starts happening, I think that's going to start probably hitting them a little bit more.